Hey everybody, this is Matt McQueenie of the Mix Minus Podcast, coming at you with a little stream because today, September 19th, marks the release of iOS 13, which is Apple's mobile operating system. There will be a split towards the iPad having its own operating system. That will come on September 30th, but we do get the full step jump in number from what was iOS 12 to iOS 13, and with that come a lot of features. Many are meaningful, but most end up not being very meaningful. They end up just being Apple's attempt to improve all of their core apps. So we know what Apple is bringing to the table here. The big key will be once the new iOS is out, and you'll start to see all of your favorite third-party apps realize some of the benefits of the operating system. So that's going to be the key. But I want to talk here about my top 5 Apple iOS 13 features to look forward to that Apple has announced. There's a lot of stuff going on here when you're talking Safari, when you're talking improved maps, when you're talking Apple Arcade, which is a big one, which is going to be a $5 a month gaming subscription with over 100 games. If you do want to delve and try that, you can get that free for a month. I don't know if I even want to jump into that. That could be dangerous with how much I have kind of going on, and when you're an adult, gaming is a bit of a tough thing to make happen. But I'm not going to count on those as my top 5s. There was a neat thing in Safari where there's an automatic tab closing feature, so you can tell Safari to clear your tabs. You know, you end up with like 100 tabs open, right? You don't even realize it. So they have an automatic clearing feature where you can set that on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, or maybe a custom basis. So that was interesting. You can mute email threads in Apple Mail, which some of us might be apt to do. You can sign in with Apple to apps and websites. We're used to doing this with Facebook and Google. There's a new Siri voice, which is apparently very alluring. I don't end up using Siri as much as Apple probably hopes I do, and I think many people are the same. There will be a feature where Siri can read incoming messages on your AirPods, which is an interesting thing. But we'll realize a bunch of these updates as they come out. But here are my top 5, starting with number 5. You can now cut, copy, and paste with gestures. This is also in line with Apple bringing swipe-to-type keyboard features to their core keyboard. We've been using many of these features on third-party Swift kind of keyboards, but now you actually have the ability to do kind of swipe to type quickboard features there. But the cut, copy, and paste will be fun because I do a lot of that when I'm trying to create notes for episodes, when I'm trying to create notes for college, and that cut, copy, and paste is tough when you're trying to like scroll it over. So apparently the way this works is you'll pinch up with 3 fingers to copy, pinch up with 2 fingers to cut, and pinch down with 3 fingers to paste. Sounds confusing, but we know we'll all get to the point where it will feel second nature. So that is my number 5 most looked forward to feature that I'm seeing with iOS 13. Number 4, it's called Reading Goals. I do not use the Apple Books app, but maybe this is one of those features that those who do use that app like, and then other apps that I do like, such as Kindle, sometimes Google Books, that they might come to those. And so what happens is you can set your reading goals on a daily basis. You could say, for instance, I want to read for 2 hours a day, and then that app that you read in will catalog your reading and see how well you do in trying to reach that goal. I always do like goals, especially for reading. Reading's hard to just pick up and go, especially when you're busy, you have a lot of responsibilities. That could be interesting. Number 3, AirPods audio sharing. This will be coming a little later in the fall, I believe. Actually, no, it might be coming out now. I think some of them might be later in the fall. This one may work to a degree now, but it might be beta. But it's AirPods audio sharing. So this is where you can have an iPhone. That's what they say a lot of now, but I think iPad will be coming if it's not ready now on certain of the iPad devices, the newer ones. Same thing with the phones. I think it's iPhone 8 and up. But you can have 2 sets of AirPods in 2 ears, or 2 people's ears, and you can both be watching the same thing on an iPhone or an iPad and listening to it in your own AirPods. What I do a lot with my wife, we split our AirPods, right? So I have one in my left ear, she has it in her right, or vice versa, right and left. And so that's how we tend to split. It's not terrible, but it would be nice to have the full surround sound in both of your ears. That'll be good. I really want that to come to the Apple TV. That for me will be big. I use this feature a lot on my own. I watch my Apple TV and I have my AirPods and I'm watching it on my big screen TV and I'm listening just in my ears. We do that because we have 2 little kids sleeping, even though I don't think sound is a big issue, but we just believe it is. Second most intriguing feature for me is the Find My Devices that are offline. Do you ever lose a device? I have like 8 Apple devices. When you're talking AirPods, you're talking iPhone, you're talking iPads, and then you lose it. And you go, oh, but I got an app for that. And then you get to it, and this always happened with the AirPods. I'll be interested to see if this actually works when it comes out. I'll go and I'll locate it, and then it will say offline. And then there's a feature where you can ping that device, but when it's offline, it doesn't work. So you end up just being like lost without them, and then you go seeking them the conventional way by actually looking around and praying to St. Anthony. And then you find it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, AirPods are found, and it's like, yeah, no duh, I got them, man. So the Find My Devices that are offline, apparently this will work. So it will help you through some kind of chip, mesh network of some sort, Bluetooth, offline ability, will be able to find your devices that are offline. Also, Find My Friends and Find My Devices are in the same app now. So when you go look at that app, you're going to see your mom driving down the road, somewhere in the state, and then you're going to see your AirPods in your house. So they're all going to be in the same place, people and devices. The most kind of sought after and discussed feature that people are looking forward to, it's not going to be a game changer for me, but it's interesting, and that's going to be system-wide dark mode, where you can just flip a switch and the whole screen goes to a dark mode from what is the conventional, what we're used to, light mode. It'll be nice. I like dark mode at night. Sounds like you would expect that. So, at night you flip to dark mode, it's a little less of an intensity on your eyes. Sometimes it's a different experience. Sometimes I'll just like flip certain apps from light to dark mode, Pocket, Twitter. So it'll be interesting to have that on a system-wide basis. You can actually have it automatically flip at a certain time as well. So if you want to flip it in the nighttime, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I believe you can do that, but there is some automatic function and feature to that. So those are my top 5 Apple iOS 13 features to look forward to for me. Again, we're going to see a lot of the apps we love that are third-party taking advantage of the new operating system, and there can be a whole nother discussion on our favorite features in those. But these are what we know are coming today, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So happy downloading and utilizing your new iOS 13 features.